Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinyi, and I'm always glad to bring you up to date with comprehensive analysis of all that is taking place in this beautiful country, Kenya, and of course, across the border as well. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, good morning.
Morning to you, Evan.
How are you?
Fine. Yes.
Can see you're doing great.
I'm doing great, and I thank God all the time. Yes.
Seems like we are not getting done with the issue about the security of Kenyans and particularly abductions. The former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka says he's on a path of collecting signatures and building a case against the government of President William Ruto at the ICC. We've also seen former abductees and of course who've come forth and said that they're still being trailed up to now. We've also seen the Inspector General of Police and, of course, the DCI boss appear in court for the first time after refusing to do that previously. And then, surprisingly enough, it's that very day when they appeared that we also discovered about the death of those who had been missing back then. I want us to have this conversation here because this actually puts us at a very critical and dangerous situation as a country. Let's begin from the recent revelations of the death of these Kenyans who've been missing ever since.
My heartfelt condolences to the families. It is painful to lose a human being. It's much more painful for a parent to bury their children because it's supposed to be the other way.
Yeah.
Our children are supposed to bury us. And when you must bury your child, your children, it's very painful for a parent. In this particular instance, is even unexplained pain. The agony of waiting to know what could have happened to your child who has gone missing or been abducted. That agony. And then finally you find they are dead. I don't think life can ever be the same for those families. Never. I've lost people, and I know what it means. I know what it takes and how long it takes to accept it or to go through it. And I'm sure for these ones, the pain will never go away. And they will never forget. How I wish the same pain being felt by these parents was felt by Kenyans. Because that will be the only way to end this anger, these abductions and killings. The pain those families are going through. Those who do these things, if they stopped for a while, just a while, to imagine the pain these parents are going through, the parents whose children were found dead after long periods of abduction and missing, I don't think you do it again, for whatever reason. Because a human being who is always in the process of weighing. We are always juggling and calculating in many aspects of life. So if you want power, at whatever level, there are sacrifices you make. There are compromises you make. There are certain things like comforts you forego. If you are a woman and you want to be an MP, and you look at your young family, you know you must make very clear choices. You'll be away for long periods of time when these young children need you. So those are choices and sacrifices and compromises and the calculations we make. And how much money you invest in a campaign. How much risk you are taking to get power. So if these abductions and killing are part of that calculation, then I think that calculation and weighing is not working well. It can't be worth it. If you have to get power because you have to sacrifice human life in the 21st century, I don't think it's worth it. Because in the fullness of time, all these things will come to haunt you. So the question then will be at that time, was it worth it? Was it really worth it? You are going through agony maybe in your old age because of your desire to have power. And in the process of actualizing that desire, you tortured, maimed, and killed. Even the Bible is very clear. Those that live by the sword, die by the sword. Dying by the sword doesn't mean somebody will kill you also. It simply means you'll kill yourself. You die inside. After you've done all these things people are doing, there follows a period of dying inside. A period of immense regret, consciously or unconsciously, where you reflect consciously or unconsciously and see the emptiness of or the things you did, of how you occasion suffering and pain to others, and of how useless you are as a human being. Basically, if people knew we are immortal, we are here for a short while in this world, and we can't own the world even if we tried. Our shoulders are not big enough to carry a world. You are here for a time, you do what you can, leave others come and do what they can. Just Shakespeare told us, this is a stage. You enter the stage, do your bit and exit. You can't carry so much pain with you in your future life just to enjoy temporal power. Power is so transient. Power is so illusional. Power is so illusional. It is so temporal. It comes and goes. If you are an MP, before you there were MPs. And sometimes if you care to find out, the MPs who are in that area, some of them don't have families. Their homes are ruins. Homes of powerful chiefs. Go to those homes. You hear this was a powerful chief in the 1970s. The home is a complete ruin. Watoto wameuza mpaka wameuza mabati, nyumba, mawe ndio zinasimama. Wanagonga mawe kidogo wakiuza. It shows you just how empty these things of this world are. Yes, power is sweet. Go for it. Put in everything. But don't put in human life. No. Put in anything, not human life. No. That I can advise people for free. I'm an old man now. Mine is just to advise people for free. I don't even need money. What will I do with it? Just for free. Put in everything you have to get power. Collect everything. All the resources. Please, on the list of the resources you need to get power, don't put their human life. No, it's not worth it. In the fullness of time, in some corner, somewhere, whether in jail, in a refugee camp, on your farm in Kenya, somewhere you'll realize how futile and empty that was. It will haunt you. It will eat you from inside. Because what is power? Why would you kill somebody's child so that you can be anything? It's nonsense. Because opposition is what makes power sweet. Again, these people don't understand. If we made you president or anything, and there was no opposition, power can't be sweet. Power is always sweet because of opposition. Yeah, and that's the nature of life. The binary nature of life. Friction makes movement. The law of the opposites. So life cannot be life if things were sliding. Even walking, you can't walk. You need friction to walk. The law of gravity. You get it? So is power. Power is sweet because of the challenges you are able to overcome. Beginning by defeating your opponents in an election. Or in the olden days, by scheming. If you are 3/4 princess, your father is a king. You scheme until you are the one who takes over. If it is not hereditary in the manner it is well defined like the British one.
Yes.
Even for the British, it wasn't always like that. They got to a year, I can't remember when they defined it like that. So power is defined by how, and the sweetness of it, by how much you struggle to get it and even to maintain it. That's normal. So if there is no opposition, power cannot be sweet. No.
Okay.
So don't look at the opposition as something that is bad. No, it's necessary for you. You enjoy power because you surmount challenges. So if I'm the president today, and these young boys are drawing these things, about me, I just laugh.
Welcome to 1442 Kusini. We are located in South B off Sore Road. We have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments currently on construction with completion date scheduled for September of this year. The 1 bedroom is going for 5.45 million Kenya shillings and the 2 bedroom is going for 7.45 million shillings. The 2 bedroom is all en suite and also features adobe area for your laundry. The 1 bedroom also has a adobe area and a spacious balcony for you to take up the Nairobi views. Our show houses are open 7 days a week and you can schedule a visit by reaching us through the number on your screen. We have a flexible payment plan which is stretching the entire of the year for cash buyers, and we also have mortgage option in partnership with KMRC and Cooperative Bank for those who need financing. Karibu, kuja nyumbani. Kuja 1442 Kusini.
Prof, as we talk here, there are Kenyans who are now actually waiting to bury, of course, their loved ones at this point. But something very disturbing is also happening here. You look at the Inspector General of Police and even the DCI boss, all of them on that particular day saying here that they do not know where these people are, that they are not in any kind of police custody. But if you look at even the circumstances under which all these things, the report from Nairobi Funeral Home indicates that these people were booked way back in 18th of December, that is last year. And even at that time, the families went there to look and they were not found. And actually, Senator Edwin Sifuna says that perhaps this facility could actually also be complicit in all these things that are happening in this country. What do you make of the kind of response of those who are charged with the security of Kenyans and how they've actually handled this entire situation?
Well, I don't want to say anything because I have said what I was to say in previous interviews. I've said if those in charge cannot tell us what is happening, what are they doing in office? Because it is quite possible that they don't know.
How?
Why? The state is a complex ecosystem. Any state is complex ecosystem, multi-layered, even when it comes to security. Various operational commands. The state is a complex thing. Security of a state, the organs of security are not linear. They are complex. You can be sitting there in vigilance house, and other people are doing things without your command knowing. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
In the unfortunate post-election violence of 2007, 2008, it came out clearly even when these things went to the ICC at The Hague, that the Commissioner of Police then, as they were known, I think Hussein Mohammed, whatever he was called, Hussein Ali, he didn't know what was happening. There are people ordering the police without him knowing. People can move a whole barrack. People can move a whole army into action without the commander knowing. So, I'm telling you.
So what then is the role of the commander?
Security of a state is a complex thing. It's very complex. The CIA could be doing things which the White House does not know at all. The classified information is now showing us the sort of thing that were happening. Sometimes the government was not aware. So it's possible that the Inspector General and the Director of DCI do not know. My challenge to them is, if you don't know, what are you doing in office?
Definitely.
I want to give it to them. They may not know. Then ask them, what are you doing in office?
These individuals are gobbling up
what are
public
you doing
money in terms of
office
salaries and all that.
if you don't know what's happening under your command? Tell me.
Okay.
They should tell Kenyans what they are doing in the office if they don't know. Because it is possible they don't know. And it is possible that you cannot mobilize the police to investigate, because If those doing it are doing it behind your back, they also have the power to immobilize you when it comes to investigation. So what are you doing in office? And I'm advising Kenyan leaders. By leaders, I don't mean political leaders alone. Anybody in a position of leadership. You are a minister, you are a PS, you are a commander of this, you are a police inspector general, you are a judge, you are what? Learn to say no for the sake of this country and for the sake of tomorrow. Learn to say no. I know how difficult it is to say no. And I know the consequence. I'm a living example of what it is when you say no, when every man is saying yes. But for the sake of this country and for the sake of future, if you are a judge, for the sake of judiciary, for the sake of sanity in this country, because the moment you lose the judiciary, you lose everything. Because people do not even know the role of judiciary in keeping civil order. You know, we are not animals, and the role of ensuring we do not behave like animals falls on the shoulders of the judiciary. I want to hear judges resigning, 1 or 2 judges resigning. I've given examples of those guys who gave ruling in the Gachagua impeachment thing. One was in Kirinyaga, another one in Mlimani. One was called Mwong or whatever. Another one was called whatever. Those 2 judges. They should have resigned. And the problem with this country, we love money so much. You can open your mother for rape because of money in this country. That's why a man cannot resign from her. You can't imagine how you can drop from that life they are used to. That's why somebody can be dropped from being a minister, humiliated, and later return as an assistant minister, and he accepts. Because we believe in money and the power so much that we are willing to sacrifice every iota of values, anything that makes us human beings, just to remain there. So for this country to change,
Yes.
people will have to learn to say, thank you. This job is good. My children are going to good schools. I know I'm leaving it. They may now have to go to poorer schools or less whatever schools, glamorous schools. I know I enjoy good security. My security will be dropped. But for the sake of peace in my mind, because I want to be at peace with myself, and for the sake of this country, I am stepping down from this job. I have nothing against anybody. Whatever secrets I have, they will die with me. I'm not going to leak them. I'm just leaving.
Okay.
We need to have Kenyans of that caliber. And then those in power will begin to see. Not everything will pass, because there will be Kenyans. They may not antagonize you, no, but they'll just leave. They just leave.
Okay.
If I'm a judge, I'm trying to knock something into the system, but somehow people are playing up there, I just leave. If you are an OCS somewhere, you have criminals, you are trying to deal with them, and telephone calls are coming from outside, you release dangerous criminals because a phone call has come, just leave. Even if you are killed in future, because you will die even one day.
Okay.
But if people make that a habit, then nobody will touch you. But that's what I'm saying. Inspector General Police, Director of DCI, who I know very well, is a good guy. If you know nothing about these abductions, and I want to say it is possible, what are you still doing in those offices?
What are you still doing in those offices? Prof, as this also happens, Duale comes, of course, the CS Aden Duale, CS for Environment, comes and says that on these issues of abduction, of course, the president is as white as, no, let me say so, because he has no blame at all in this. But then at this point in time, there is what we call responsibility. Kenyans are looking up to the government to actually protect their lives. And then he comes on board and says, look, yes, we are aware this is happening, but then you can't blame the president for this. What do you make of Duale's statement?
First of all, Duale is no longer in the security sector. But as a human being, he can say what he wants to say. He can hold an opinion. Again, it will not be strange if the president is not involved. It is something that can happen. Again, the security of a country is a complex machinery. It's not like as simple as the right hand knowing what the left hand is doing. It's more complex than that. There are many hands. Others are behind there, others are here. One eye here, one here, another one behind, another one here, another one under the top. That's how complex security is. So it is possible atrocities can be committed in a country without the president knowing. It's quite possible. Many of the things I've said that have happened in the world, including killings, assassinations, presidents have been as surprised as the citizens. Here in Kenya, it is said that some of the early killings were done in the name of the president, without the president. In fact, I understand there is a rumor that once the president was really shocked. Even people like J.M. Kariuki, Robert Ouko, and the rest, I don't think anybody sent anybody to kill them. The issue perhaps of disciplining them, to teach them a lesson, could have been on the cards. But sometimes things then get out of control. Those are the theories we hear. But I'm saying it is possible that Ruto has nothing to do with these abductions.
So what you're saying...
It is possible Ruto doesn't know what's going on with abductions.
If you look
you must now then begin to look for the reasons.
If you look at all those people who are being abducted here and all those people who become victims of these things here, all of them are somehow perceived to be government critics. Do you therefore try to say that perhaps there are people who are just actually overzealous and want to please the president, and so they go ahead and do some of these things?
There's like a story, let me demonstrate. There's like a story. Most of these stories rarely are true, but they are used to demonstrate certain reality. That Jomo Kenyatta loved spending his evenings with his fellow elders in Gatondo. And at some point he would, how was the day? Ilikuwa sawa, kina Jaramogi hawa nini. Then one day he would say, kuna kamuhindi hapa parliament, kana tusumbua kamuhindi yaka. Pinto, I think. Kenyatta would complain many times. Then one evening, it's just a story people say, it's not necessarily true, but serves to demonstrate what I'm saying. So one evening, Kenyatta comes and these friends tell him, kale kamuhindi tumemaliza. I'm not saying that is true, but those are some of the stories you hear. Whether they are true or not, but they serve to demonstrate what I'm saying. They are overzealous people who think you'll be happy as a president if they did certain things. And they proceed to do them. That's one explanation. Another explanation is there is the concept of the deep state, which is deeper than many people think. In the run-up to the last election, I laughed. Even a very educated Kenyans interpret deep state to be Uhuru Kenyatta or the president. This can be nothing further from the truth. Deep state is a concept applied to a group of persons who view the state in a certain manner and want to preserve the state in that manner for whatever reason. And it is a loose collection of individuals that differ from time to time and from country to country. In some countries, the deep state may be the military that believes a certain country ought to maintain a certain order. And when they see somebody trying to disturb that order, they step in. Not by taking over power, by playing behind the scenes.
Okay.
Even in America, for example, Jimmy Carter lost the election. It was manufactured that America is humiliated in Iran. So that Jimmy Carter, because certain powers didn't like the sort of soft president he was. And that's how Reagan came in. So there can be forces within even a small country like Kenya. Forces that are more powerful than the president. that believe Kenya is going in the wrong direction, and they must silence the critics. So all these things are possibilities. The injustice we do to ourselves is to be kindergarten in the way we look at things. To be very simple and lazy when you're analyzing an issue. You must try to go inside an issue. How powerful is Ruto? Is Ruto 100% powerful? Is he in authority 100%? Is he president 100%? Those are the issues Kenyans must interrogate. You may be thinking he's 100% president, 100% powerful in power, with 100% authority. Then you are shocked that he's swinging between 50 and 60 there and 40. Jaza, nani anajaza hiyo 40?
So there could be some other forces controlling.
It's possible. I mean, these are possibilities you engage when you have a mind that is working. And that way you can come to the root cause of a problem in a country. But I'm not saying that's the case. This could be a simple state-sponsored thing. And we would advise the state, stop, it's primitive, and it doesn't serve any purpose.
But whether or not the president is involved, obviously the biggest responsibility lies with him.
Certainly.
Finally, let's conclude by looking at Kalonzo's stance right now. They're saying that they're building a case actually against the government at the ICC. What's your view on this? Will it actually surface to bring justice home?
I don't think it will go far. No. The ICC is a very slow-moving machinery. Very slow-moving machine. In fact, in the case of Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto, it surprised us. That speed was too fast. But as few as you can think of it, it didn't go far. So ICC is a good route for them if they want. But for a number of reasons, I will not support it. One, the humiliation that Africans would go through ICC that is created by the white people, funded by the white people, to humiliate African leaders, I don't support it. We can do our own judicial systems. Why should we hold Kenyans to the Hague? Even if I hate you, even if you committed atrocities, why would we take you to a Mzungu court? We should try you here. That's number one. And number two, like I've said, it's a very slow process. Let's say we were to rely on ICC to end abductions. By the time it reaches ICC, how many people would have died?
Quite a number.
How many would have been abducted? Countless. So Kalonzo should shut up. He should have the spine to take on this thing head on. These sort of things you stop through national anger. Not collecting signatures and compiling things to take to ICC. If you see Kalonzo, tell him to stop immediately. Let him lead Kenyans in anger against these abductions and killings. Not collecting signatures and useless data to take to a Mzungu court. I didn't like it when Ruto and Uhuru went there. And my friend sang, no, why? These guys create a court. They can't take their own. Some of them are not even signatories, and yet they're the ones who sponsored everything. Now, Sisi, foolishly, we take our own there to perpetuate the myth that an African is a useless animal. No, that I will not support. Kalonzo, tell Kalonzo, please, lead Kenyans in anger against abductions and killings. Even if it means, I don't want to say it. I've suffered enough in life. It's time for me to enjoy my old age now in poverty.
Well, you make me kind of laugh at this point. But then what we are saying here is that regardless of what is happening here, the ultimate responsibility lies with the president. Definitely, the government cannot be gobbling up public money here in terms of salaries and all that, only for Kenyans to end up in morgues and all that.
That's true.
So that is something that we will not allow as a country. But Prof here says here that, look, this actually requires some sort of anger from every Kenyan. Let's wait and see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this family. My name is Evans Okinyi.